We have been seeing a lot of videos lately when it comes to skill-based matchmaking and engagement-optimized matchmaking, along with the question of whether or not there are bots in Modern Warfare 3. Well, before you click off this video, just give me a couple minutes of your time because I, ladies and gentlemen, have the receipts. So sit back, relax, and let's get into it. I know people are sick and tired of hearing about skill-based matchmaking and the possibility of bots being in this game. So I took it upon myself and to go through the patents of Activision, and I went over gameplay, and what I came across in the scouring through Activision's patents was actually eye-opening, and I'm going to be honest with you, it almost made my eyes bleed because of all the reading I was doing. And finally, I came across this. Here is the U.S. patent that was granted on August 13th, 2019 to Activision Publishing Company, Santa Monica, California. The name of the patent is Group Composition Matchmaking System and Method for Multiplayer Video Games. Here is a brief summary of the patent, which is described as a system and method is provided that recommends group compositions in multiplayer video games. The system may suggest a composition of a group of players using a matchmaking process. What I really wanted to focus on was down the bottom where it says the system may identify optimal groups based on matchmaking related information, such as without limitation, game profile, player profile, prior match scores, prior quality scores, and or other information. Optimal groups may be those that have performed successfully, e.g. accomplished the most wins, objectives, etc., are associated with the highest player enjoyment, e.g. based on match and or quality scores, and or otherwise are deemed to be desirable. Just stew on that paragraph for a minute. What I just read describes skill-based matchmaking and engagement-optimized matchmaking. Oh wait, but there's more. Now comes the part that I think is going to blow your mind. The matchmaking system and method may be leveraged in various contexts as well, such as to influence game-related purchases, recommend a composition of groups of players, train or identify non-player characters, NPCs, that should be used and or other contexts. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. There we see them bring up bots for the first time. The system may include a microtransaction engine that arranges matches to influence game-related purchases. For instance, the microtransaction engine may match a more expert/marquee player with a junior player to encourage the junior player to make game-related purchases of items possessed/used by the marquee player. A junior player may wish to emulate the marquee player by obtaining weapons and or items used by the marquee player. There you go, ladies and gentlemen, more manipulation in Call of Duty. A little further down it says, the microtransaction engine may identify items to be promoted, identify marquee players that use those items, and match the marquee players with other players who do not use those items. The microtransaction engine may leverage the matchmaking abilities described herein to influence purchase decisions for game-related purchases. If what you have seen so far isn't enough for you to believe it, well, maybe this will do it for you. The system may identify optimal groups based on matchmaking-related information, such as, without limitation, game profile, player profile, explicit preferences, purchases made, player styles, etc., prior match scores, prior quality scores, and or other information. Optimal groups may be those that have performed successfully. E.g., accomplish the most wins, objectives, etc. are associated with the highest player enjoyment, e.g., based on match and or quality scores, and or otherwise are deemed to be desirable. So you see, ladies and gentlemen, the better you do, the more your gameplay will be manipulated. And it goes on. According to one aspect of the invention, the matchmaking may be used to manage NPCs. For example, the system may be used to select or generate a NPC to fill a gap in a clan or team, generate a team or clan of NPCs, analyze NPCs post-game session to identify successful NPCs, and or perform other actions with respect to NPCs. It reads on. The system may identify a gap in a number of players required for a given gameplay session, such as, for example, when only 9 or less human players have joined in a game that requires 10 players in a clan. In this case, the system may assign one or more NPCs to play along. Further down it says, the system may generate potential matches between the human players who have joined and potential NPCs to fill the gaps. The system may score each potential match and select NPCs that are associated with the highest match scores. In some implementations, the system may identify one or more NPCs to serve as an opponent to one or more human players. The system may generate a match score for a group of NPCs and use the match score as a proxy for the group's level of difficulty. I didn't want to make this any longer than it had to be. I didn't want to make it boring and drag this out with paragraph after paragraph going over this entire patent. I just wanted to point out some key things that I thought really opened my eyes to what was going on and to kind of answer the question of whether or not skill-based matchmaking, engagement-optimized matchmaking, and bots were in this game, if our gameplay is being manipulated. So here's the last one that I wanted to go over, and it says the system may identify one or more NPCs to serve as an opponent to one or more human players. A little further down, the system may therefore dynamically select NPC opponents based on match scores and an appropriate level of difficulty to be provided to the player, e.g. more skilled players may be presented with NPCs having higher match scores. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I found. This is what I laid out for you. There's obviously much more in here that people can go and look at yourself. It's very easy to look up. All you have to do is look up the patent number. That, you know, there it is right at the bottom again. So, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Are you having these issues? Are you experiencing bots? Are you having fun playing this game right now? This game had so much potential. And yet we found out how rushed it was. And it's just had issue after issue. The ramped up skill-based matchmaking and our gameplay being manipulated is destroying this game. It's obvious that people are sick and tired of this shit. People are sick and tired of being punished for playing well. But guys, I'm out of time. Let me know what you think in the comments below about what you saw here. What do you think about the NPCs they're talking about and the obvious engagement-optimized matchmaking that's going on here? They talk about it over and over again and the manipulation of gameplay. I want to thank you for watching. I'm T Mac, and I'm out.